This is going to be the last COVID post I ever make. Because at this point, I'm about to say all that needs to be said about COVID. Full stop, the end. Anthony Fauci, the media, governments, and health officials led the greatest fear and manipulation campaign of all time. They coerced people into taking an experimental gene therapy with no long-term data that made pharmaceutical companies billions of dollars and held zero liability for anything that happened after that. And for the 15% of us who were brave enough to refuse it, got gaslit and ridiculed for years. We were excluded from society. We were uninvited from weddings and dinners and get-togethers, thrown out of friend groups. We were called terrorists and dangers in the media. We were censored and shut down online. We were banned from restaurants and gyms and sporting events. I couldn't even leave my own country because I wasn't allowed on a train or a plane at one point. People lost their jobs, their businesses, their livelihoods, their friends and their family. They couldn't see their dying loved ones. And here's what we know now. There's a ton of data in published medical journals on the negative side effects of it. Cancer rates, immune suppression, paralyzation, autoimmune disorders, cardiovascular issues, menstrual disruptions, deaths. And we now have the data on lockdowns and school closures and masks and social distancing. They didn't work the way we were told. And in many cases, they made things worse. We were also told that if you got the thing, you couldn't get it or transmit it. So not only was that not true, but pharmaceutical companies testified in front of Congress that they knew this from the beginning and chose not to tell us about it. And now Dr. Fauci, who led this entire campaign and shut down any debate of the science, got a pardon from Joe Biden and is now pleading the fifth in front of Congress. It's insanity. But here's the most important thing that you guys got to know. Maybe another 15% who took it have finally woken up. And to that, I say good on you and welcome to truth. But guys, the other 70% who still support all that happened, they don't give a shit. I bet you everyone who ridiculed me over the years, they don't even know about these studies. They don't know Fauci is testifying right now. And if they do, their egos will never let them change their mind and apologize. So then the question is, what do we do about it? Well, here's what successful people are doing. They're accepting that anyone with a flying chance of waking up already has, and that most of society is asleep and probably always will be. So we're wishing them the best, and we're getting as far away from them as possible. And we're letting it remind us of who our real friends and family are. And then realizing that we live in times so abundant that we can live and work from basically anywhere. So we're going where the most freedom is. That's what my network is doing. That's what I'm doing. Building a business, creating wealth, setting up a life in Florida, a place that stayed open and free over COVID, and getting passports to other countries so I have maximum options and possibilities for when something like this happens again. I'm trusting in God's plan. I'm focused on what I can control. I'm realizing that everything within me is ultimately connected to something much greater than me. And I'm not just giving God my blessings, I'm giving him my fears and anxieties about the future as well. So to all of you who are awake, I love you. I salute you. Now go win and get everything you've ever dreamed of because you can. And if you aren't winning, you aren't awake. And that's the vibe today, baby.